What's up everyone? Welcome back to a new video. As you can see by the title and by all of this that's happening right now, this video is going to be how I cover my acne and the acne scars on my skin using clean beauty from the drugstore. Yes, the drugstore has clean beauty products, okay? Some of your favorites like Maybelline, Nyx. I found a lot of clean beauty in the drugstore, and if you're wondering how I found out that they were actually clean beauty, I use this app on my phone called the Environmental Working Group app. If you've never heard of the Environmental Working Group, it's an organization that really focuses on what's in the foods that we eat, what's in the products that we buy, and they do a really good job in breaking down each ingredient so you know exactly what it's doing in your system. This app has come through for me so much when it comes to shopping for makeup, hair products, cleaning products. So how it works is I scan a barcode of the product and it'll come up with a ranking number, and it usually ranks it from 1 to 10, with 10 being pretty dirty and 1 being super clean. I like to stay in the range of obviously from 1 anywhere up to 5. I don't go further than 5 just because I find that that's where the ingredients start looking a little shaky for me. I will say though, they're still expanding their database. Like not every product that you scan is gonna be in the system and it's gonna give you a feedback, but for the most part, they are really good. Like you'll be surprised how much you'll actually find when you start scanning. I really wanna show you that you can still get really good coverage with clean beauty. This is the final result on the look. It's full coverage. At the same time, I feel like it's pretty natural. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you find it helpful. Let's get started. So before I sat down, I actually exfoliated my face with this really gentle cleanser that has little small beads in it. I'm gonna link it right here so you can check it out if you're interested in it. I would suggest that you lightly exfoliate your skin, especially if you're trying out any new acne creams or any new products that is drying your skin out a bit. Make sure you don't exfoliate with anything too harsh, just because you don't want to irritate your skin before you pile on makeup. And then also you want to make sure that afterwards you moisturize. Now that I got those steps out of the way, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color correct. I'm going to go in with this Maybelline concealer from Master Camo. This is in the green shade, and the reason why I am using green is because it really helps cancel out the redness on the skin. I'm just going to put it directly on the areas where I feel like I need it the most. All that redness, even on some of like the acne scars, I'm going to put it as well. Like I have one right here. And the reason why we use green is because if you ever look at a color wheel, I'm sure you heard this before, but directly opposite of that color wheel or directly opposite of the red on the color wheel is green. So this really is just going to help cancel out any of that redness that you have. And I'm just going to take a little flat small brush to just dab it in, but I'm just going to blend it into the skin. If you feel like you do need to add a little bit more, or you see some spots, I'll probably use it. We're going to do that. I really like this green concealer, and I really love the fact that you can find cleaner beauty products at the drugstore. All right, so now that I have this green all up in the areas where I want to color correct, next I'm going to take in a color that is the only color out of this whole tutorial that is not a clean beauty drugstore product. This is from Motives. This is a lipstick, and the reason why I'm taking this is because I have like this dark circle around my mouth, and I usually get this right before my period. I already know that it's coming because my skin just gets darker, my scars just look more pronounced. So I'm just gonna go in a little bit with this like red color and just mask some of that darkness. Also, if you have darker skin tone and you're noticing that the green concealer doesn't really work that well for you, definitely try adding some red into those spots. Next, I'm going to go in with this Nyx HD Studio Photogenic concealer, and this is in the color CW04 beige. I'm just going to put this on top of the green. So everywhere that I put the green, I'm just going to add a little bit of this. I'm going to take this brush, it is from Motives, and I'm just going to start pushing all that concealer and blending it down on the skin. So right away with this, you're going to see that it's going to cancel a lot of that green. And if you tried to use red like a red lipstick or a red concealer, it's also going to cancel that too. I feel like the key to coverage when it comes to acne and scars is to build up slowly. Don't try to add so many products all at once, because one, it could end up looking cakey and it's just not going to end up covering that well or sitting right on the skin. So you just want to make sure that you're taking little steps and piling things on slowly. So now I'm going to take a look at the skin to see if I need a little bit more coverage before I put on the foundation. I think I need a little bit more on the sides of my mouth to cancel out that redness even more. Also, the foundation is going to cover a lot more. So remember, when you are concealing, you want to pack it in. You don't want to swipe or like swish or do anything that's going to be moving the product. You want to gently pack the product on. All right, so far so good. Now it's time for my favorite part of the entire makeup experience, foundation. You guys definitely feel me on this. Foundation is your BFF. Back in the day, I used to feel really insecure going out when my skin had a lot of cystic acne without makeup. So if you're watching this and you're dealing with a lot of cystic acne, this goes without saying, you don't need makeup. Obviously, you know that you're beautiful no matter what. But obviously, makeup is just something that really helps, especially because acne is just like a huge insecurity, and I feel you on that. So if it wasn't for foundation, I honestly don't think that I would have gone out a lot. So I didn't tell you which foundation I'm using. I am using the Maybelline Dream Satin Liquid foundation. I feel like liquid foundation is the foundation to go whenever you want like that full coverage, or whenever you're trying to cover up acne or acne scars. I also forgot, I used a primer before I started. It is the Maybelline Master Prime. It says that it blurs redness and it controls pigment. So if you really want to take it to the next level, definitely suggest that you use a primer. All right, so here we go. We're gonna blend this foundation out. This is a buffing brush from Honest Beauty, and this is one of my favorite brushes to use when it comes to building like that coverage and packing that color in. I love the fact that this foundation does not dry up my skin. If you get to this point and you see that you need more coverage, then what I suggest you to do, instead of piling on more concealer, I would take some of that foundation onto your finger and just dab it where you have your breakouts. That way it matches the rest of your face and nothing stands out. I used to make the mistake of adding more concealer on top of my foundation, and I feel like it would draw more attention to the breakout. Like I'd be like, why is this look worse than when I didn't add this concealer? So at this point, you could use your finger, but I'm just gonna use this brush and I'm just gonna dab very lightly. I'm just gonna use the same concealer that we use on top of the green for underneath my eyes. So I'm just gonna contour a bit. I like to go in with a cream contour first. This is the Maybelline FIT Me foundation stick, and this is in the color Coconut. So when you are trying to cover up acne or scars, you want to make sure that you bronze up the skin if you don't do already. But I find that adding a cream contour really helps like bring the look together even more, and it really helps you focus on other parts of your skin. Like people will end up like complimenting your contour, you know, they'll be like, oh, her skin looks snatched. And now I'm just gonna set that, and I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline. I swear this whole video all I'm using is Maybelline and Nyx. I feel like those are the two brands, if you were ever looking for clean beauty in the drugstore, gravitate towards Nyx and Maybelline. They have so much to offer when it comes to clean beauty. I love the fact that this is 3 products in one. This is Maybelline's face contouring kit. So I have my bronzer, I have my blush which has a lot of shimmer in it, and then I have my highlight. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that bronzer. If you want a little bit more coverage, then I definitely suggest, instead of adding more liquids like more concealer, more foundation, to get a tinted powder. So this is the one I am using. This is the Maybelline FIT Me matte and poreless powder in the color Natural Beige. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of that, and I am just gonna set. So I don't want to add too much because I don't want it to look cakey, but I added a little bit more coverage from this powder on this area right here. And I'm gonna do the same for this. I took a break and I did my eyebrows off camera. I used this eyebrow pencil from Honest Beauty. And then for the eye color, I honestly just did the minimum. I used the same contour palette that we use on the face, the Maybelline one. And then for mascara, I used this Organic Wear Physicians Formula mascara that you can pick up right at the drugstore as well. All right, so now I'm just gonna add a little bit of blush, and I'm gonna use this blush from the contour kit that we've been using, and I'm taking this brush. It's a blending and bronzing blush from Echo Tools. If you have breakouts in these areas right here where you're contouring or you're putting blush, don't feel discouraged and think that you can't add blush or contour. You can. It really is all in the technique. It's really all in the brush that you use, and remember, you want to push it in. I am putting on this liquid lipstick, and it's from Honest Beauty, and it is in the color BFF, and I'm obsessed with this color. I'm using it like every day now. It's so pretty. So the last thing I'm going to do is set everything in with the setting spray, and if I feel like I added too much powder, that's also going to help absorb some of that powder. And this is a product I picked up at the drugstore as well. It is the Heritage Store Rosewater. So you may have seen people set their makeup with this, you may have not, but let me just tell you that it does work. I love setting my makeup with Rosewater. It's really hydrating on the skin. All right, so now I'm just gonna let this absorb onto my skin. Honestly, I don't do this every single time I go out or I go somewhere, but I do something similar towards this where I feel comfortable enough. Obviously, there is a huge difference, but sometimes you can see bumps seeping through from the makeup. Not everyone is going to be able to cover their bumps entirely. I really feel like that's something that's really hard to do. So if you don't have a flat surface, it's gonna show up regardless. But you know what? We're doing the best we can, and honestly, I feel like my skin, it looks pretty good. Like, I'm feeling it. Thank you to everyone that's been requesting this video. It took me a while to do because makeup videos, they're not easy to film, okay? Shout outs to all the makeup gurus out there, because let me tell you, I was sitting here for a minute. Let me know if you tried any of these clean drugstore beauty products. If you're interested in finding some relief when it comes to your acne, then I definitely suggest that you download my free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Preventing Acne and Clearing Your Skin. These steps have helped me so much when I was dealing with cystic acne, that deep acne that's underneath the skin and that just takes forever to go away. If you're dealing with it now, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna leave the link down below so you can get your free copy of that ebook. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.